All right, this is the moderator. I'll be promoting our next petitioner and her attorney back up to a panelist. All right, so hi, Yoon and Keith. You can unmute your microphones to give a quick mic check and then also turn on your cameras.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. However, it sounds like there is a bit of an echo.
좀 떨어졌어. Maybe we're just close together, that's why. Better?
That is a little bit better. You may also want to put in some earbuds or headphones if you have any.
I don't have any.
Okay.
No, the reason is the petition is very close to me, but maybe that's what was causing the howling. It should be okay now.
Okay.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. What I may suggest, since you're both sitting in the same room, if you can mute one of your microphones and then just use one of your devices for the microphone.
I will unmute. I will just mute.
Okay, better? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, much better. All right.
And then, Hyun, if you could turn on your camera, please.
Turn on your camera. The video. Video sign.
And Madam Moderator, this is Judge Wong. I noticed Ms. Amazola is listed now as an attendee as opposed to a participant.
Thank you for catching that. I will promote her back up to a panelist. All right, board member Amazola, if you could quickly just unmute your microphone and give me a quick mic check.
Hi, this is Paula Amazola.
Thank you. All right, let me double check that I have all my board members back up as panelists.
You do, I just counted.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
왜? 할 수 없지 뭐. 복잡하다. 배터리가 계속 붙어 있을 텐데.
All right. Do we have all our board members back and our executive officer?
This is Elaine Yamaguchi. I'm only counting 7 of the board members.
Who am I missing? Let's see. We have Alita, Dr. Mountain, Cheryl Turner.
Oh, there we go.
Do we have all of them?
I believe so.
Okay, thank you. And then is it all right if we do like a roll call just to make sure that they're all back?
Yes, please.
Board member Maxey's on.
This is Donna Norton.
John Deerking is here.
Cheryl Turner here.
Cheryl Turner here. Alita Carpenter's on.
꽂으면 안 될까 가서.
Paula Amazola on.
Melissa Rubicaba's here.
All right, that sounds like we have everyone. Quick, before I turn it back over to our board president, just a brief friendly reminder that if you're not currently talking, if you could please mute your microphone just to prevent any background noise. Thank you, and I'll turn it back over to our board president.
Sorry, I had to unmute. I believe that we're ready to move on to the next case. Can I turn it back over to the judge, please?
All right, thank you. So let's go ahead and go back on the record. So we're on the record before the Board of Vocational Nursing and Psychiatric Technicians, Department of Consumer Affairs, State of California, in the matter of the petition for reinstatement by Hye, Yun, Yoon, Lee, Lee. It's OAH number 2020-070574. My name is Corin Wong. I'm an administrative law judge with the Office of Administrative Hearings. To establish a quorum for the record, I ask that each member respond audibly after his or her name is called. Ms. Amazola de Herrera. Oops, your microphone's muted. So if you'd unmute and then respond. Ms. Amazola de Herrera.
Present.
Ms. Carpenter.
Present.
Mr. Durking.
Present.
Mr. Maxey.
Present.
Dr. Mountain.
Present.
Ms. Norton.
Present.
Ms. Rubalcaba.
Present.
Ms. Turner.
Present.
And let the record reflect that a quorum is present. All right, so next, if I could take the appearance of the Deputy Attorney General.
Thank you. Caitlin Doherty, Deputy Attorney General. I'm appearing on behalf of the Attorney General pursuant to Business and Profession Code Section 2878.7 and Government Code Section 11522, representing the people of the state of California. I'm here to assist the Administrative Law Judge and the Board of Vocational Nursing and Psychiatric Technicians in fact-finding. My role is not adversarial, but is intended to protect the public interest. I'm here to ensure that the Administrative Law Judge and the Board have adequate information from which to make a decision. Thank you.
If I could take the appearance of petitioner or counsel next, please.
Petitioner, say your name.
Hi, how are you? My name is Yun Lee.
And counsel, if you'd state your appearance for the record, please.
Yes, for the record. Good afternoon. My name is Keith Kim on behalf of petitioner.
Good afternoon. All right, so we are here on a petition for reinstatement. So shortly, Ms. Doherty will introduce the petition documents and then provide a summary of the history of the surrender of Ms. Lee's license. And then Mr. Kim will turn it over to you to present your evidence in support of the petition. And I just wanted to remind you that what the board is most interested in this matter is any rehabilitation Ms. Lee has engaged in since surrendering her license. So with that, Ms. Doherty, if you'd like to proceed with the documents.
Thank you. What's been pre-marked as Exhibit 1 is contains the original petition packet with accompanying documents. The board members and petitioner and counsel have been provided with a copy of the same set of this exhibit. The petition for reinstatement was signed October 15, 2019. The supporting documents in that petition are a Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles docket for case number OSR 01623. Following that is a Hollywood Presbyterian Medical Center admission paperwork for petitioner. I would ask that a protective order be placed over pages AO24 to AO30 if opposing counsel is agreeable to that.
No objection.
Following that is 2 letters of recommendation that were dated January of 2019. Following that is certificates of continuing education of education for petitioner. And there's a transcript from Los Angeles County Community College District. Following that is petitioner's California driver's license. At this time, I offer the section 1 into evidence. Following that is the license certification for petitioner in tab B. Following that in tab C is the notice of hearing and related documents to that notice of hearing. And lastly is the final decision and order in case number VN 2000, or the final decision and order in the 2013 case that petitioner had with the board. We ask that this petition packet and all the supporting documents be submitted for all purposes at this time.
Great. Those documents are marked collectively as Exhibit 1. Mr. Kim, any objection to 1?
No objection, Your Honor. No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, 1 is so admitted. And if I heard you earlier correctly, you do not have an objection to sealing the pages identified by Ms. Doherty?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And so those pages will be sealed, and I'll issue the written order after the hearing.
Thank you.
Okay, so Ms. Doherty, if you'd like to provide your summary.
Thank you. On or about June 2018, the California Board of Vocational Nursing and Psychiatric Technicians issued vocational nurse license number VN 234932 to petitioner. On April 6, 2012, the board filed accusation number VN 2009-384 against petitioner. The accusation alleged that petitioner's license was subject to disciplinary action under Code Section 2878, subsection F, conviction of a crime substantially related to the qualifications or duties of a vocational nurse. 2878, subdivision A, unprofessional conduct. 2878.5, subdivision C, conviction of a crime involving consumption of a controlled substance. In that on or about June 25th, 2010, petitioner was convicted on her pleas of nolo contendere for violating Vehicle Code Section 23152, subdivision V, driving under the influence of having a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or more. In the criminal proceeding entitled People versus Hee-Yoon Lee in Superior Court of Los Angeles, case number OSR 01623. On or around January 30th, 2013, petitioner entered into a stipulated settlement to surrender her vocational nurse license. On or around effective September 7, 2013, petitioner's vocational nurse license was surrendered with cost ordered of $2,980.25. On or around October 15th of 2009, petitioner filed a petition for reinstatement of that vocational nurse license, bringing us here today. Because the burden is on petitioner, I have no further statements, but would reserve the right to question petitioner at this time.
Great, thank you. Mr. Kim, I'll turn it to you for your presentation of the case. Do you wish to call Ms. Lee at this time?
Yes, please. I'll reserve my opening statement. And for the record, Ms. Lee's the cell phone actually ran out of battery. So we're utilizing a single cell phone, which is mine. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Thank you.
Ms. Lee, if you would raise your right hand, please.
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you will provide in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So you may put your hand down. Mr. Kim, whenever you're ready.
Yes, I have a few questions. Ms. Lee, when was the last time you drank alcoholic beverage?
The last time I was back in 2010.
Is that after you were convicted of second DUI?
Yes, it's truly, yes.
Did you ever suffer from alcoholism?
No.
Did you ever have psychological problem in the past?
No.
Did you ever have to seek mental strike that? Did you ever have to seek psychiatric treatment in the before?
No, I didn't need that.
Do you drink nowadays?
No.
Did you suffer from colon cancer?
Yes.
When was that?
I remember it was 2017. I was diagnosed of the stage 3. So I couldn't even touch up drinking with my lip even.
Okay, so are you, or have you been fully recovered from the cancer?
Yes, I have been fully recovered as I know.
Good to know. Do you drink at all? Alcoholic beverage nowadays?
No, I have a children to take care of my own. So yeah, I don't have any, in mentality need a drink.
How many children do you have?
One child.
Oh, you have one child. How old is he or she?
She's a 4-year-old.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross-examinations?
Yes, thank you. I have a few questions. Ms. Lee, you're the one that completed this petition packet that was submitted to the board, correct? Starting on what's marked as A001? Is that correct?
Yes.
And on at the end of that petition packet on page A09, is that your signature and dated October 15, 2019?
Yes, it is. Yes, it's correct.
And you understood that you signed this petition under penalty of perjury, correct?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Lee, what's your understanding as to when your license was surrendered to the board?
When was it surrendered?
I was surrendered at the last 2010, that I believe. Yes, 2010. 8 years ago. Yes.
But
No, 10 years ago. Yeah.
So you weren't surrendered in 2013?
2013. Yes.
Okay. And if I can direct your attention to the top of what's marked as A004. If I review that document with you right now, is it correct to say that on that document you stated that you worked as an LVN up until April of 2014 for Wear Plastic and Aesthetic?
Yes. Yes.
And are you aware that you were working unlicensed at that time, since your license should have been surrendered or was surrendered?
Yes.
And you continued to work unlicensed?
Excuse me.
Did you continue to work without license?
Oh, yes, I definitely, yeah, I should continue to work without license because of my hardship also, yes.
So you continued to work without a license because you thought the not having a license didn't apply to you? If you can clarify that for me.
Why did you continue working without
license?
license?
I mean, without license,
yeah.
I just try to look for any job. Yeah, not being as a professional, the LVN. I'm currently working as an office job, the front desk.
Okay, and so I guess I want to go back to 2014. So just to clarify for the record, it's your testimony that you were working in 2014 up until April of 2014 as an LVN. Is that correct?
Did you work as an LVN?
No, I did. No, I was since I know my license revoked, I didn't work as an LVN.
And then why on this petition did you write April of 2014, if you can clarify?
Because I stay in that facility. Yeah, stay as a work. That's why.
Working as an LVN?
No.
What were you working as?
Just take care of the patient to come in.
Receptionist.
Like a receptionist, and take the phone call, and yeah, those stuff. Yeah. I didn't have pretty much as I could LVN because my license was revoked. So,
Your Honor, I would just ask for the record that opposing counsel not assist petitioner in her answers as she responds.
I'm sorry, I was trying to clarify the question. Maybe there seems like a little bit of language barrier here. I'll refrain from that. Sorry.
Yeah. If there's a language barrier, then we may need to secure the services of a certified interpreter. But Mr. Kim, you should not be interpreting for Ms. Lee.
I understand you. I apologize.
Judge, this is Paula Amazola. It's clear to me that there is a back and forth of misunderstanding of the questions being asked of the petitioner, and that we asked the petitioner if she at this time would like an interpreter. I think it's only fair to ask her if she needs an interpreter.
Okay. Ms. Lee, do you feel you need an interpreter to assist you with answering the questions from Ms. Doherty and any that may be posed by the board?
Well,
You need an interpreter.
yeah, if I can, yeah, for interpreter, yeah, that's more comfortable to me.
Okay, so if we need to secure an interpreter, that would require a continuance of the hearing.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Ms. Doherty, any objection to a continuance?
We would only object in that petitioner should have notified our office along with the board ahead of time, but if she does need an interpreter and is not able to understand the current questions, then we could be agreeable to a continuance, but just knowing that it would most likely be continued out to possibly the next board meeting if there is an opening.
So, Mr. Kim, what is your position on a continuance?
I have no objection, Your Honor. I didn't realize that there was going to be this issue at all because she obviously obtained a license. I assumed that she had enough proficiency, but it's my fault too.
Okay. I guess, Dr. Mountain, I'll seek guidance from the board. I have actually not had this issue before in one of these hearings. Do we continue the matter and then leave it to staff to secure a new date?
I'm actually going to turn this over to Elaine Yamaguchi or to Ken Swenson for what is our standard procedure here.
Elaine Yamaguchi here. I will defer to counsel.
Hello, this is Board Counsel Ken Swenson. This has not occurred during my tenure as Board Counsel. However, I believe for the orderly disposition of the case and in light of the representations made by the petitioner that the matter be continued. However, it would have to be continued to the next regular board meeting at the earliest. And so what my recommendation would be is to either drop the matter from the agenda today or to be reset at the next available board meeting, or to continue the matter to the next available slot at a board meeting with notice to be provided by the enforcement staff.
Actually, and Elaine Yamaguchi here again. If I may, I would remind that the petitioner did take the examination in English, I believe, and should have been able to tell our staff beforehand that she needed an interpreter. But aside from that, Mr. Swenson's counsel is good advice.
Do we have a means of going into a brief closed session right now for me to consult with the board?
This is Ken Swenson once again. I'm not sure if that's necessary. If the respondent, the petitioner and the Attorney General agree to continue it, then the matter can be continued there obviously are issues about language proficiency, the former licensee having taken the test in English and so forth. But based on the representations made at the petition hearing today and with the occurrence of the Attorney General, I think that the best course of action would be not to consider it in closed session, but to just go ahead and either drop the matter to be reset at the next available board meeting, or to just grant a continuance on the record to the next available board meeting with notice to be provided by the enforcement executive. Thank you.
And Your Honor, I would just like to state for the record, if we could go off record for 5 minutes or less, I would like to speak to enforcement staff on my end regarding that continuance.
Okay, I'll just give him that conference number.
All right. Why don't, let's do this. If Ms. Doherty wants some moment to talk to enforcement staff, I think I do want to have a brief closed session to consult with the board. So do we have a mechanism technologically to go into a closed session?
This is the executive officer, Elaine Yamaguchi. We do have a conference bridge line that we could certainly that I can email to the judge, the DAG, and our own staff. And would there be anybody else that needed to be on the line?
Actually, the Deputy Attorney General would not be present during the closed session. So is there a way to lock this meeting for a closed session?
There's not.
Apologies, this is the moderator. We actually can block the meeting and just expel the attendees and then lock it so that we only have our board members and the judge in there.
I'll sign up. We can sign up.
Okay, let's do that. And then also, Mr. Stinson, if he could join the closed session as well.
Of course.
So why don't we do that? To give enough time to go through this process, can we do this, take a 15-minute break, and then we'll go into closed session for 15 minutes and come back? So at 2:15.
Sure. I'll sign in again in 15 minutes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go off the record then.
Thank you.
All right, this is a moderator. I will be demoting. Oh, it looks like he already.
And then can you also demote me, as I can't be in closed session? I'm Caitlin Doherty, Attorney General's office.
Yes, let me. I will be working on getting people demoted and getting the session locked. So one moment.
Thank you.
All right, this is the moderator. We'll be going into closed session momentarily. I will be removing all attendees. When we come back, the meeting will be unlocked and you'll be able to log back in to listen. All right. Is there anyone else on this meeting that should not be in the closed session?
Probably the executive officer.
Okay.
There's also staff right now as panelists.
Okay, let me go ahead and get them removed as well. I
actually believe that you'd requested some of the enforcement staff, Ms. Park, Mr. Prouty, would be the people that discuss.
Yes, this is Jay. I'd like to participate in the closed session if I can.
Mike Sanchez, I'm not sure who Mike Sanchez is.
Mike Sanchez is our public affairs person.
Yeah, okay.
So, Mr. Sanchez should be excluded. Typically, Mr. Prouty does attend the closed sessions.
Ken, do you want me to leave? And Ms. Lyman.
Carol?
Yes, this is Carol Mountain.
Hi, Carol. When you go through the discussion, can you please that it may go into 2021? And I just
Yes.
want them to understand that it's not the November.
I wrote that down.
Perfect.
I said it could be as late as May of 2021.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Paula. Are we back on?
We are back on. We are having technical difficulties with the host unmuting her microphone.
Okay.
This is the moderator. It looks like we don't have our petitioner logged back in quite yet. So give us a moment while we wait for her and her attorney to log back into the meeting.
This is Helen Park. I received an email from petitioner's attorney letting me know that he cannot rejoin the WebEx. Should I tell him to click the link again?
This is the co-moderator. Yes, please have him click on the link again and see if that fixes the problem.
Then hit the agenda again to get to the link. So I don't know if he has tried that, but.
This is Helen Park. I will let you know.
This is the moderator. I've promoted attorney Keith Kim back up to a panelist. Keith, if you can unmute your microphone and also turn on your camera.
Okay.
All right, and then is our petitioner going to be signed in separately?
No, actually, I couldn't sign in, so I thought there was a problem. I let her go. I'll convey the message to her. Or you want me to have her sign in?
Yes, if you could have her sign in.
I'll do that right now. Okay, give me 1 second. She's logging in.
This is the moderator. Thank you. All right, this is the moderator. Looks like we have our petitioner back on the line. I'll go ahead and promote her up to a panelist.
Okay.
All right, Hayun, if you could please unmute your microphone and turn on your camera.
Yes, I turned it on.
Thank you.
Hayun, hi. This is Dr. Mountain. I want to give you a couple of options here. We discussed the idea of a continuance for your hearing, and
Yes,
we would
yes.
like to hear what you would like to do. But before you make a decision, I want you to be very clear and understand that if there is a continuance, we would give you the next possible opening at the board for your hearing, but that could be as late as May of 2021, which is quite a while from now. So I would like to hear what you would like to do in light of everything that's transpiring.
Yes, that will be fine to me. Yeah, I could ignore into next year, the May.
You're okay with that?
Yes, I agree. Yes.
And if you, what would be the best language interpreter for you? She's disappeared.
Actually, I can understand, read, and write in English. Will be okay, but since my first language is Korean, so I'm more comfortable with that because this is really critical and very important in my field, the job. So I don't want to be nervous,
So you would like to have a Korean interpreter?
Yes, that's more easier and more accurate. Yes.
That would help you to feel more comfortable in this setting.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
And you understand that it could delay your hearing until May of 2021?
For next year?
Yes.
Oh, it's kind of few months far away, but yeah, that's fine. Is there earliest time would be?
We would give you the next possible opening, but right now it looks like it could be May of 2021.
May 2021. Yes.
If
There's no choice.
and that's okay with you.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Is there a petition from the board?
Are you asking?
I'm talking to the board members.
Yes.
This is Donna. I would make a motion that we grant the continuance to the next available board meeting and acquire a Korean interpreter for this defendant, or for this petitioner.
I second that. This is Ken Maxey.
Thank you. It was moved by Donna and seconded by Ken Maxey. I'd like to call for a roll call vote.
Madam President, could we
yes.
have public comment?
Oh, thank you. Are there any public comments?
Right, at the direction of the board, I will go ahead and open up the Q&A feature for public comment. Members of the public, if you would like to make a comment, please click on that icon with the question mark within a square located at the bottom center of your WebEx screen. We'll get instructions up on this slide deck in just a moment. If you could type, I would like to make a public comment in that Q&A box, then we'll get to your comment. And I'll pause a moment to allow members of the public time to access that Q&A feature. Great, this is a moderator again. It looks like at this time there are no requests for public comment. Would you like me to close the Q&A feature?
Yes, please.
All right, the Q&A feature is now closed.
Okay, I would like to call for are there any other comments from the board? I would like to call for a roll call vote. Paula?
Yes,
it's okay.
Oh.
Paula, was that your vote? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, this is Paula, and my vote is a yes.
Thank you. Alita?
Yes.
Mr. Durking?
Yes.
Mr. Maxey?
Yes.
Myself is a yes. Ms. Norton?
Yes.
Melissa?
Yes.
And Ms. Turner?
Yes.
So we have a unanimous vote. I'd like to turn it back over to the judge.
All right, thank you, Dr. Mountain. Ms. Doherty, did you wish to be heard further regarding the motion for continuance?
Not at this time. Thank you.
All right. So finding good cause and a vote, affirmative vote by the board, I will go ahead and grant a continuance. Mr. Kim and Ms. Lee, staff will make arrangements to get you on the next available hearing date, and then we'll be in contact with you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I really appreciate your time.
All right.
And consideration.
Is there anything else for the record in this matter, Ms. Doherty?
Further, thank you.
Mr. Kim, anything else for the record?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, so We'll adjourn this matter to a later date to be determined, and we are off the record.
Thank you.
And Dr. Mountain, I'll turn it back to you. I don't know if the board wants to take a short break or proceed into the final matter.
I'm guessing that they would like to proceed unless someone has something else that they would like to do. Would you like to proceed to the final? Okay, I think we'll go ahead and proceed to the final one, and then we'll take a short break after that.
Okay, I will open up the final one on my computer.
This is the moderator. Our final petitioner, Mary Lee. Unfortunately, it looks like I cannot make you a panelist. I'm going to have to ask that you rejoin the meeting and make sure that you click that Join Now button. If you click the button that's right below it, which is Join by Browser, it doesn't allow me to promote you up to panelist, which means you can't unmute your microphone or turn on your camera. We'll get instructions up on just a second. Oh, and she's going to rejoin. So we will wait just one moment while she rejoins the meeting. Great. Looks like this is moderator again. Looks like we were able to promote Mary up to a panelist. Mary, if you could unmute your microphone and do a mic check and then also turn on your camera. Hello. Hello. Hi, this is the moderator again. Do you mind speaking just a little bit louder? It is a little hard to hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
It's a little faint. You may want to bring your microphone closer to your mouth.
Okay, how about that? Hello?
We can hear you now.
Okay.
All right, Dr. Mountain, shall we proceed?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's go ahead and go back on the record. We are on the record before the Board of Vocational Nursing and Psychiatric Technicians, Department of Consumer Affairs, State of California, in the matter of the petition for early termination of probation of Mary Lee. Last name is spelled L-E. It's OAH number 2020-070575. My name's Corin Wong. I'm an administrative law judge with the Office of Administrative Hearings. In order to establish a quorum for the record, if I could have each member answer audibly after his or her name is called. Ms. Amazola de Herrera.
Present.
Ms. Carpenter.
Present.
Mr. Durking.
Present.
Mr. Maxey.
Present.
Dr. Mountain.
Present.
Ms. Norton.
Present.
Ms. Rubacalva.
Present.
And Ms. Turner.
Present.
Let the record reflect that a quorum is present. If I can next take the appearance of the Deputy Attorney General.
Thank you. Caitlin Doherty, Deputy Attorney General. I am appearing on behalf of the Attorney General pursuant to Business and Professions Code Section 2878.7 and Government Code Section 11522, representing the people of the state of California. I'm definitions and fact-finding. My role is not adversarial, but is intended to protect the public interest. I'm here to ensure that the administrative law judge and the board have adequate information from which to make a decision. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Lee, Were you present during the meeting when the other petitions were heard?
Yes.
Okay, so procedurally, your matter will proceed in a similar way in that shortly Ms. Doherty will introduce the petition document and then provide a summary of the discipline of your license. And then we'll turn the matter over to you to allow you to present your evidence in support of the petition. And I just want to remind you that what the board is most interested in this matter is any rehabilitation you have engaged in since your license was placed on probation. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So Ms. Doherty, if you'd like to proceed with your documents.
Thank you. What's been pre-marked as Exhibit 1, which both the board and petitioner have been provided a copy of, is in Section A is a petitioner probation report for petition. I'd like to point out on that report, petitioner currently resides out of state in Hawaii, and that probation has been told as of July 8th, 2020. Following that is petition. Section B is petitioner's petition for early termination of probation and supporting documents, which generally consist of her probation for early termination, which was signed December 20th, 2019, email communication with petitioner and the University of Arkansas regarding her state of Hawaii LVN license. Following that is petitioner's California driver's license. What's in Section C is petitioner's current license certification, showing that she currently has an active license in probationary status. Following that in Section D is the notice of hearing and related correspondence for the hearing today. And following that is the board's decision in petitioner's case, putting her on petition. We ask at this time that all the documents be admitted for all purposes. Thank you.
This is the moderator, if I can interrupt. It looks like our judge is muted.
Oops, yes, sorry. Ms. Lee, so the documents read by Ms. Doherty will be marked collectively as Exhibit 1. Ms. Lee, any objection to 1 for all purposes?
No.
And I'm sorry, you're really faint.
No, I have no objection.
Okay, very good. So 1 is admitted for all purposes. Ms. Doherty, if you'd like to provide your summary.
Thank you. On May 10th,
Your Honor, the witness hasn't been sworn yet.
We're not going to, thank you, but we're not taking her testimony yet. It is Ms. Doherty's summary.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
May I proceed?
Please.
Thank you. On May 10, 2002, the California Board of Vocational Nursing and Psychiatric Technicians issued vocational nurse license number VN19945 to petitioner. An accusation was filed in 2013 against petitioner regarding allegations that fraudulent materials were submitted on petitioner's behalf by TLC Institute of Nursing after she requested TLC's assistance with her licensure application process. TLC submitted the fraudulent documents with petitioner's application for licensure. On October 10, 2018, the board adopted a proposed decision which placed petitioner's license on a 2-year probation effective November 15, 2018. On October 15, 2019, petitioner filed for petition of reinstatement of her vocational nurse license. On July 8, 2020, petitioner's petition went into probation went into a tolling status due to moving out of state to reside in Hawaii. Because the burden's on petitioner, I have no further statements, but would reserve the right to question petitioner. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Lee, now's your opportunity to present your evidence. So I will swear you in at this time. If you'd raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you will provide in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. You may put your hand down. And so whenever you're ready, you may begin your testimony. And I just remind you that, again, what the board's most focused on is any rehabilitation since your license was placed on probation. With that, whenever you...
Okay. So I just wanted to clarify that the reason why my license was put on probation was through, it was a misconduct and fraudulent activities of TLC, which I wasn't aware about during that time. So I just wanted to bring that up just to make sure the board members are aware and your honor. I did took responsibility in regards to that action against my license. I paid the fine. I've been submitting quarterly written reports, complying with all my probation, informing and keeping my probation.
Apologies, this is the moderator. If I could interrupt real quick. Mary, you're really faint. Do you mind turning up your audio by chance? It's a little hard to hear you.
Yeah, it's already on full blast. Hello?
You may want to hold your microphone closer to your face. Can you try speaking now?
Okay, is that better?
That's much better. Thank you.
Okay, so I guess I'll start over then. So I just wanted to clarify the reason why my license was put on probation. It was in regards to TLC's misconduct and fraudulent activities. It was without my knowledge. So I enrolled in this program to help me prep for the NCLEX and help prepare me for my application for the NCLEX. I did go to accredited school. It was through Soledad Adult School. All my transcripts and work experience were, put into that application, but without my knowledge, he had taken that out and falsified clinical hours. Of my clinical hours at different hospitals. He even forged nursing supervisor's signature. So when the investigator had reached out to me, I think my third year as a nurse, I was really shocked. I didn't know anything about it. They wanted to either revoke or wanted me to surrender my license, but there was no way. I mean, I went to school for 2 years. I worked additional 3 years as an LVN. So I worked really hard to where I'm at now. But we went to hearing and I agreed that, I'll be placed on probation for 2 years. I'll do my terms, I'll comply with everything. So I've been working with my probation analysis, turning in my quarterly reviews, submitting everything on time, informing him of any changes in employment, informing my employer, of my status of probation. Also, I've been in contact with him in regards to my move to Hawaii. I even was in contact with Helen in regards to the petition as well, letting her know my move, updated the board with my current address. So, I thank you for your guys' time today. I know it's been a long morning, but I just wanted you guys to consider ending my petition for my probation early. I know I'm about 4 months short on that. I recently just moved to Hawaii with my boyfriend. He's in the military. So it's kind of like an unexpected move as well. We started this relationship, so we're going to try to see where it grows from here. I want to continue, employment in the state of Hawaii as a nurse. Just in regards to having a probation status unencumbered license. The state of Hawaii actually denied my LPN endorsement. And then even getting accepted into University of Arkansas, that's on hold right now as well. I was supposed to start this fall, but since the state of Hawaii hasn't approved my LPN license, I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen. So right now I'm not working. and I do have bills to pay, so I want to just, continue and work as a nurse here. So if you guys can take into consideration and end my probation early. That's all I have to say for now.
Thank you. Cross-examination?
Thank you. Just have a couple questions for you today. Why, I know you touched on it. Can you explain a little more in depth why you want your probation terminated early?
Yes, so since my license is unencumbered, state of Hawaii will not approve the license endorsement. And also,
Excuse me, John Deere here. Can the petitioner please speak up?
Okay. Hello? Hello?
That sounds better. Thank you.
Okay, so I wanted the petition to end early because with an unencumbered license, coming to the state of Hawaii, they are not going to approve licensure endorsement. And also, that's why I need that to either get a job and enroll into the LPN to BSN program, because the University of Arkansas doesn't approve the state of California. So my move here was to, further my education and to work as well.
And I know you talked about Hawaii, but do you hold any licenses in any other states?
No, I do not.
And do you plan on utilizing your California license in the future?
As of this point, maybe if I return to California, but I will, keep it active. I will do my continued education.
And when were you denied licensure in Hawaii, if you don't mind, if you can recall?
I'm sorry, what was that?
When were you denied licensure in Hawaii?
So I actually got here on July 8th of 2020. The Board of Hawaii had a board meeting on July 9th, 2020. And it was through like a Zoom. So I was actually able to go on to follow that, and it was denied.
Okay. And what's your, I know you touched on it, but is your ultimate goal to become a RN?
Yes.
Yeah. And what, if anything, have you learned from the probation program?
I'm sorry?
What have you learned from the probation program?
What I learned from the probation program is just, make sure you look through your application and be the one to send it out. To make sure everything goes to the state with the proper documentation.
Thank you. I have nothing further for this petitioner at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Lee, is there anything else you would like to testify about on redirect?
Yes. So I've been working as a LVN for 7 years. I have no additional disciplinary actions from my employer or my former jobs. I work really hard, team player. Let's see what else. Back in December, I was promoted as supervisor and admission coordinator for my job. And then this past February, I was employee of the month. So, my past director of nursing, she loves me. She actually didn't want me to move, but, this is something that was unexpected.
Anything else you would like to say at this time?
No, that's it.
Okay. Anything further on recross?
Nothing further.
Okay, so I will turn it to the board for questions. Ms. Turner, any questions?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. So first, Ms. Lee, I'd like to commend your following through on the conditions of your probation so far. But I am concerned about is the application process. We do receive a number of defenses related to someone else completing the application. And then there's a problem. So when did you first learn that there were entries in your applications that were not correct?
So I actually didn't know about this till an investigator reached out to me, and this is probably in 2017. I was already working as a nurse for 3 years. She asked me if I did my clinical hours at Salinas Valley Memorial Hospital. I don't recall the supervisor name. I think it was Tammy. She asked me if that was my nursing supervisor at that time when I did my clinicals there. And I told her, no, that is not correct.
And so you're aware that when you apply to become an LVN that you need to submit an application, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So everything was filled out and everything was submitted to TLC in an enclosed envelope, as what he said. My transcripts from my community colleges, transcript from my LVN school as well.
And so are you're saying that you never had an opportunity to see that what was submitted?
So when I went to hearing, they showed me what was submitted, and that was nothing I submitted. So basically, they must have thrown it out and supplied their own documentation. And I mean, TLC had submitted their own documentation.
Okay, so you're saying you prepared some documentation and then they prepared some documentation that you never saw?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and who submitted the application? They did?
So I turned everything into them in an enclosed envelope. So everything was sealed and turned into them because they said that they will send it off. So I didn't question it because I heard back from the state and I was, scheduled to take my NCLEX. So I didn't know anything was wrong with that.
Okay, and so going forward, you understand that there is a problem submitting
yes, correct.
documents.
Yes, so
I will be someone else in a sealed envelope that you never opened to review before submission to a government agency?
So I did not know they submitted anything. I turned in what I thought they were going to send in for me. So I wasn't aware that they were sending in anything. I thought they were just sending in my application because this he sent in other applications for students there as well.
And as a nurse, you know that it is important to review documents, charts,
yes,
medication
correct.
dispensing records that are supposed to, that you're responsible for.
Yes, correct.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
All right, any questions, Ms. Rubalcaba?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Ms. Norton, any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Dr. Mountain, any questions?
Yes, could you clarify for me exactly what TLC does, what their role is in nursing education?
Yeah, so TLC was open. It was for like an NCLEX preparatory class, and also he taught pharmacology there. But that business is no longer in service, and he actually was, he actually got his RN license taken away. He had to go to court, and I believe he had to do some jail time as well.
So he was simply providing a service to students saying, I'll prepare you for NCLEX.
Yes, correct.
And then offering to submit your documentation for you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
Mr. Maxey, any questions?
No questions from me, Your Honor.
Mr. Dierking, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Carpenter, any questions?
It's another TLC case. No questions.
Ms. Amazola de Herrera, any questions?
No questions.
Okay, I believe I've gone through the board, but just in case any other questions have come to mind, are there any further questions by any of the board members? All right, hearing none, Ms. Lee, you're excused as a witness. Is there any other evidence you wish to provide, Ms. Lee?
No, I don't have any other evidence. I just want you guys to take into consideration in regards to ending the probation. I am in the progress of, looking for a job at the Triplet Army Hospital here in Oahu. They said once I get my issues resolved, then, I could start working. So I just wanted to let you guys know. And thank you for your time.
Okay. Closing argument, Ms. Doherty?
We have no closing at this time. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Lee, do you wish to give a closing?
Yeah, I just had to say, yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys are well aware of TLC and what he did to a lot of, applicants and students.
So Ms. Lee, if you would hold your microphone up, we can't hear you. Okay.
Yes, so I know I heard one of the board members mention, another TLC case. Yeah, he actually, did a lot of fraudulent activities, and I'm glad, they finally caught on to him. And, it put a lot of students and, nurses in a horrible time, but I hope, we put an end to all that and I can just continue with my life and have no restrictions in regards to my license. Thank you.
All right, so that concludes the hearing in this matter. The record's closed, the matter's submitted, and we are off the record. So Ms. Lee, as you may have heard me say at the end of the other hearings, the board will meet in closed session to discuss your petition, but a written decision will not be issued today, but will be issued on a later date. And you will receive a copy in the mail. Okay?
Okay, and then do you know about how long that would take?
Generally, I have about 30 days to draft the decision, and then I send it to the board, and I'm not sure how long the board's process is.
Okay. All right, and there's no other ways in expediting the decision or anything, just to let, my new employer, if they wanted to know what's going on with my status.
I'm sorry, you faded out, so I missed the question.
Is there any way we could expedite the decision so I could either let my, new employer know or the school know about what's going on with my status?
Well, I will certainly write the decision as soon as I can, but I have other things that I've heard before this that need to be written.
Okay.
So we will keep that in mind, though.
Okay, thank you.
Right? Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
And Dr. Mountain, I will turn it back to you to see if the board wants to take a break or go into closed session now.
Thank you very much, Judge. I think that we will take a 15-minute break and then we will reconvene in closed session at 3:35. Is that good? Board members?
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
And that's what we'll do. See you guys back at 3:35.
Moderator, this is Elaine Yamaguchi.
Yes.
My understanding is the board will reconvene in closed session. That will be via teleconference, so we can go ahead and probably close the WebEx from here.
Okay. Does
Unless
there
you
need to be an official closing of open session, or I wasn't sure.
Council, do I
Yeah.
need a motion?
Hi, this is Jay. I just want to make sure, I'm not sure all the board members were aware if we were going to go by phone for closed session or continue in this capacity.
This is Alita. I was kind of wondering the same. I mean, I know that our,
Why don't we go ahead and leave the window open then until the 3:35, and we will clarify that when the board returns.
Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you very much.
Hi, this is Vicki, the budget analyst. I sent out an email to all board members and appropriate staff with the login credentials for the teleconference closed meeting after this session.
Were they also sent to the administrative law judge?
I believe so, yes.
It seemed to me that expected us to come back into closed session here on WebEx.
Right.
Okay, that's totally fine.
As I said, why don't we go ahead and leave the window open until the 3:35, and then we will make the closed session logistics abundantly clear.
Thank you.
I'm wondering if the board members have returned.
John Deerking's here.
Alita Carpenter is here. I'm also on the other call though for closed session.
This is
Oh, so, okay, so everyone wants to come back into the closed session call?
This is Donna Norton. I'm here.
Is the moderator still here?
Yes, this is the moderator.
Can we do the closed session in here, or should we use the phone number that was sent out? Or maybe Ken Maxey knows that.
I think we're trying to determine which would be the best method.
Okay.
What method would you like, Carol? We could all leave the WebEx meeting and do closed session by the conference call. We could do closed session here on WebEx, I believe, or we could do the petitioners here on WebEx and then do the conference call for the additional cases.
It makes no difference to me. I want to do what works the best for our IT. I guess that's most important right now.
This is Elaine Yamaguchi. Moderator, is it simple enough to go ahead and lock this session and we don't need to use the conference phone bridge?
Yes, we can do that. I just wanted to make sure that if we need to address, because we do have some members of the public who are currently on the line, if we need to address that, we'll be going into closed session and then you'll be reconvening tomorrow.
That's correct. In that case, for everyone who's on the line, let's just stay here. Ms. Saavedra, if you're on, if you could send around a a very fast email to everyone and just confirm that instead of using the phone bridge line, we'll stay on WebEx for both the closed sessions?
I will do that now.
Thank you so much.
Then I'll just hang up.
There you go.
Thank you.
We may need Vicky Saavedra to take over as the moderator if closed session goes past 5 o'clock.
I'm prepared to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vicky.
Of course.
Logistic question though. It was initially our plan to have a very brief closed session discussion on pending litigation. Dr. Mountain, do you want to do that first, or do you want to do the petitioner work first?
I think in light of everything that's going to happen tomorrow, I think we should probably go ahead and just get that discussion over with, and then we can go through our discussion of the pending.
So this is Judge Wong. The only issue with that is I cannot be in closed session when you discuss the matters other than the petition, but I do need to be here when you discuss the petition because I write the decision.
Then let's help Judge Wong get finished, and we'll do the petitions first.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry about that.
No worries.
I'll be expelling any attendees who are currently on the line and then locking the meeting for closed session.